thermal sound wave.
Well, this is actually about Shaft, the remake. Peoples Hernandez. Have you seen the movie?
Man,
Shaft, the remake with Samuel Jackson,
No, I haven't.
Jeffrey Wright.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't ask you about that then,
No.
because one of the characters
I'm
in there.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
That's so
It's all right. It's all right. There's a guy in there. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. You saw the movie?
Yeah, I seen him.
So Diva, yeah, great actor.
He's a great actor. I mean,
The reason why I brought it up is I wanted to ask you, because he portrayed a Dominican in that movie. So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, as a Dominican, how did you feel about his portrayal? Was it on the money? Was it right? You know, but you haven't seen the movie, so you can't say.
So I
but
can't
you
say.
have.
yeah, I have.
So
Are you
tell
Dominican?
us.
I am Dominican. 100% Dominican.
So you've seen the movie. You
I
know
seen
the
it.
guy.
Yeah, I seen it. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it portrays Dominicans as Dominicans are. I mean, it was to me when I first saw it. I was a little bit of found offensive to it a little bit. The way he was speaking,
Right.
or his language, his slang, it was not authentic at all. That's not how Dominicans speak slang.
Okay.
Or, people this.
He's probably taught wrong.
Yeah, it was taught. It was
Right.
he was taught wrong because he's a great
But
actor.
he's a great actor.
Right.
So
Right.
I imagined to myself, if he was taught properly, he would have probably been able to portray it
Yeah.
properly.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he was not taught, properly to be able to do that. So from that perspective, I think it was a little bit, I took it as a low blow.
Okay.
As being a Dominican.
Okay.
Now-
Now,
Here, you go ahead, Sue.
Now I'm gonna go watch this.
right. Now, in general,
We're
you know,
going there. Are we going
it could be just anything.
We're going there.
The depiction of the Dominican people
I was gonna.
overall, either in the media and films or so forth, what is your feeling about how Dominican people are portrayed? Because they are portrayed in just one particular light.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're very portrayed, and I actually talking about that. There's a reason why I left a show that I did because of that reason. Because we
The
are.
reason why you left the show?
Yeah.
Which
because of
show was that?
reason.
What show was that?
This is for Univision, and I did a competition called Nuestra Belleza Latina.
Oh, okay.
Say that one more time.
And Nuestra Belleza Latina, which is our Latin beauty. Nuestra Belleza Latina. And it was for Univision. And it was just like the way we were portrayed. And it's, I don't know if it's still going on, because to be honest with you, I don't even watch it. But I was. And this is something that's going continuous. We're known as being loud, obnoxious.
Right.
We're always like thrown behind the bus. Like we're just like, oh, we're loud. ¿Qué lo que?
Yeah, very
oh,
ghetto,
he's Dominican.
very- yeah.
Oh, and the Dominicans are known for, ay, las mujeres, Dios mío, their butts, and like,
Right,
there's
right,
so much.
right,
Oh,
right.
okay, well,
Hold on. Let's.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
But that's
keep going.
over. Honestly, that's overknown.
I was
It
there.
is.
It was
I'm not
like
gonna lie
everybody.
to you.
Keep going.
I'm not gonna
Speak
lie
your
to
mind.
you.
Speak your mind.
But it is true though. We're these are the points that we're known for. Like, okay,
Right.
the domino and
Right.
being loud, obnoxious.
Right.
Don't know how to act. Always talking about like how we always popping bottles and
Right.
who's wearing what and what clubs. And
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like my peoples. I love them, but they're Dominicans out here in New York are totally different from Dominicans, Dominican Republic.
Yes.
And tell us the difference.
The difference is that, unfortunately, we have Dominicans out here that are worried about who looks better and stuff like that, and and obnoxious. But if you go to Dominican Republic, like Dominicans don't speak that way or act that way at all.
Right.
They're more focused on other stuff. And I think this is not the only place that it happens. It happens in Puerto Rico. It happens
Right.
in
But we
Colombia.
talk about Dominicans.
But
Dominicans right now. It's all about Dominicans
You
right
know,
now.
yes, we're 100% Dominican right now. We're gonna leave you on that level right now.
My people.
Now,
Mi gente.
so Univision, a show on Univision, did you wrong, or did Dominicans wrong, which affected you? And are we correct on that?
Wait a minute. Let's rephrase that again. You think the show?
I'm asking you.
The show did me wrong. Dominicans did me wrong.
No, the show.
Oh yeah, the I felt like the show. Yeah, I did. I mean, it was a great experience. I don't regret it. Lesson learned, but it wasn't my thing. Like I just felt like they didn't give me that. They picked someone and a couple of other people that were like that's not Dominican. If you're gonna pay Nuestra Belleza Latina a Latin beauty, like why would you have somebody like that to portray us? Like that's just wrong.
Right. They're playing to the stereotypes,
Exactly.
which is what all of these shows
Yes.
do. All
But
of them.
sometimes, like, they'll have a person they'll just think, okay, we're looking for somebody Hispanic. That's it. Now I realize that there's different sex for the Hispanics. You got Mexicans are way different from Panamanians.
Oh yeah.
You know, and just, you know, Colombians different from Venezuela. Just dialect, some things just way
Yeah.
different. So,
Even in Dominican Republic, though.
yeah.
In the capital in Santiago. My family's from Santiago. His family is from the capital. But you could tell. You could tell when
And you
Right.
can tell that in places all over. It's like that.
Yeah. I always get Puerto Rican. So when they say, they're like, "Are you Puerto Rican?" And I'm like, "Don't be afraid. It's okay. We're all Latinos."
But it's more
but
a
it
little
goes-
bit more now. But I think it's something that happens here. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen back in the islands. I mean, I have my like for example myself. I have family that lives in Puerto Rico. Have been living in Puerto Rico for over 20 years. They're Dominicans. You know, my godmother lives there. I have a cousin. You know, she raised her whole
That's
family and things of that
islands
nature.
all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the love for Dominicans in Puerto Rico is love. I mean, there's no animosity towards either race. You go to Puerto Rico, you go anywhere, and everybody
think
loves
it's
each other.
it's a old.
But when
it's
it
a-
comes to New York, and you've seen it here, and since I was growing up, there always was animosity, both by the different, Puerto Rican and Dominicans and whatnot.
Do you feel
And
it was
it's
an alpha Hispanic thing?
I think it's something to do with that, and I think it has something to do with money, and in a sense, money and power in between both ethnicities. In a sense, not ethnicity, but both countries, and that's what happens. Because what happens is Dominicans do flock to Puerto Rico, unfortunately, because of our
Same with
financial
Puerto Ricans.
situation. And to escape Dominican Republic, to try to find a better way of living. Like Haitians will come to Miami and that type of nature. The closest thing from the Dominican Republic is
And
Puerto
if you're
Rico.
in Puerto Rico,
It's easier
don't
for you to
have-
get
don't-
here.
It's easier to get to America.
Yeah, so that was the whole portrayal. But people, and the thing is that is ironically, I myself, I like to look back and be able. If I'm gonna talk to you, I want to know if I'm talking to you the right thing. I don't want to just talk nonsense because Tito told me down the street. I want to look and be able to tell you some real talk. And a lot of people don't know that history goes back. That it used to be vice versa. Puerto Ricans used to try to flock into the Dominican Republic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Puerto Rico, you have to think of it. Puerto Rico is not an independent. It's not a country. It's a it's a
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth of America.
Right.
Before that, what was it? A country.
Right.
Very poor country at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a small island. It's a very small island, and it doesn't have enough resources to feed its people.
And DR is closer
And
to
DR
America.
if you look at the size of the Dominican Republic, it's
Way big.
it's a way big.
Very
It's a very big island.
And very rich in
Very
resources.
rich in resources.
Española,
And
yes.
it's before this, and at that time, the Dominican Republic was run by a dictator and that type of thing in those times, and so it's different.
Who was
But
that dictator? Anybody remember that dictator at that time?
it was well, there was, I don't know if it was, I think it was before around that time. It was Trujillo. His name was Trujillo.
Whoa.
No, not a bad-
You have family that went through it?
Not a fan.
It's
It's
history.
just his
It's
history. You
very
hear it.
sad.
Very sad how he treated. If you ever seen the movie The Butterflies
With Salma Hayek.
with Salma Hayek and Mark
Three
Anthony.
sisters. And
No, explain the dictator and
I
things he was
mean-
going through.
In your words.
this is what I know, and growing up hearing it from your parents, you hear, you can't rob anything because they'll cut your hand. They'll literally cut your hand.
I used to hear about that in the
Yeah.
So it was very-
It was like,
Very strict and one
You
power,
know?
one thing. At that time, you look at it from economic point. Currencies and how things are.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what a power of a country has. If your currency is not worth as much, then the power of the country is less. Like for example, now a dollar might be worth 36 pesos or 38 pesos, right? Up and down. At that time, a dollar was a dollar. A dollar was a peso. So when you have the currency doesn't have no power over you, then I don't need nothing that you have. I can feed for myself. So at that time, Dominican Republic did have more of a stability financially.
And it's crazy with DR, when you go there, you realize that there are so many people in DR that are not from DR.
Yes.
yeah.
But you see
It's
Germans,
huge. Yes,
Asians,
Germans are huge down
Asians.
there.
Russians,
Asians as
Russians,
well.
And they have their
Pica
own,
pollo,
they're
pica
huge
pollo.
communities.
Yeah.
yeah.
Asians are known out there for their little pica pollo. And every corner you go,
Yeah.
you want to get
Yeah,
pollo.
And especially in, I think,
Italians.
Don Julio, no, Juan Julio, no, I'm saying no.
In the capital, in the capital.
No, further out from the capital. There's but even in the capital, they have their own community.
Yeah.
And you got Italians. You see Italians on there from Italy. They start businesses and stuff. A lot of the beach stuff. If when you go to the beaches and stuff, and you see those little cafes and bars by the beach, find out who the owners. Most of those owners are Italians, or people from Europe that come there and settle and come there and make it because they're Euro. expands.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you come up with 100 euros, all of a sudden 100 euros is like, X amount of money that I can't do this back in Europe with this type of money. I can do it here.
Now, Sally, do you feel that DR is Dominicans in DR are treated equally with all this gentrification going on in DR? Like, is your family being treated? Does your family have more as equal opportunities?
DR it's in a different situation right now. DR right now is I would say it's the richer is richer, the poor is poor, and right now it's like out there is different from like 2 years. Last time we were there, we're like
2 years, but
2 years ago. It's
the crime wave is pretty
the
high.
crime wave is very high.
You
right
got
now.
a lot of things that just you get into
The
that. We could be
money
here for
and-
days, but deportations and going on, a lot of criminals going back. So
Yeah.
Let me ask this question now. Have you ever been discriminated against in this business for being Dominican?
Yeah. By my own people, which is crazy too.
By
as
your
well.
own people?
Yeah. I would say that and this is just because of my experience. I just felt like I never really got the support from Dominicans, at all. And he's a witness to that. Like
What happened and where was this?
I mean, I got discriminated for a lot of reasons, for being short and being a model, and for being petite, But then they're like, "Oh, okay, let's use your face," and But I've gotten everything. Like, they're ready to do everything, and next thing you know, I'm shut down. Like, I got stories. Like,
So, no, we want to hear a story. We would like to hear a story.
How did we run out of time? But how did you overcome all of these things and get to where you are, going through all of this different obstacles and people trying to stop
Yeah.
you and saying, "Oh, you're too short, you're too petite," and so forth? How did you still overcome all of that?
I think just going through those experiences made me who I am today, and I don't regret that. I'm like, oh my God, why did I go through? But there was a reason for that. It was a reason for that. It was a lesson learned. It was just be aware. It made me stronger. So when I hear stuff, I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. If I have to say something about somebody else, they could get mad about it, but that's just my opinion, and I respect everyone's opinion.
Right.
So I really don't pay attention to any of that. I'm doing me. I'm doing what I love, and if that's what makes me happy, then I'm gonna continue to do that.
Exactly.
Have you ever heard of Mariel Vieira?
Mariel Rivera.
She's on the check-in right now, so shout out to the model. She's a model.
Mariel
Muriel.
Moriela. Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Sí, sí, I get it.
Yeah, Rivera. Oh yeah, shout
She was
out
a model
girl.
Latina with you. Well, maybe not the
was?
same cycle, but
Maybe not the same
she was on the
cycle.
show though.
Hey girl, shout out.
It's just
Thank you for the
Colombians on the
support.
check-in.
So
I love
now,
Colombians. I love Colombians.
so now you're focusing into the acting more so.
Yeah.
You're still doing a whole host of other things as well, but you really want to get the acting.
You don't
thing.
want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to
Right.
expand your horizons and nip a little bit here and there. And I was about to
Right.
say tuck,
Right.
but you want to.
But you can do that too. He's gonna
There's
hit
a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
In your industry, there's a lot of that going on though.
Oh, let me tell you.
A lot of that going on, but
But anyways,
that's a whole other situation.
I was gonna ask if they ever tried, but go ahead, finish up.
what?
Go ahead.
So what was I saying? I forgot. Damn.
You're talking about not putting your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, you never want to do that. But then I still do the modeling thing here and there. There was a point that I was really, really doing it, but right now I was like, all right, I need to focus on this, and this is my baby, and I need to take care of this right now. So I'm just right now my focus is to better my craft, better that.
Now, if someone came to you right now, producer, director, whatever, gave you like a crazy budget, you could do any particular role you wanted, any particular film that you wanted to do, what would you do right now?
Definitely right now there's a couple, and I don't want to portray pretty. I want to portray what's out there right now. One thing that touches me a lot, domestic violence. I want to portray a woman that been abused mentally, physically. I want to portray what's out there, what we hear in the news. I don't want to portray the diva, the Hollywood, and that's not me. That's just not me. So more or less something that's more that people could feel more connected to. Put me ugly. I don't care. Do anything.
Right.
I love my craft. So it doesn't matter. When you love something, you do all that. You
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
There's some people that I know that will be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna look horrible without
Right.
saying.
You're not acting it.
Has anybody tried to influence other things into your craft that you felt was offensive, or just like, you want me to do what?
They have told me not to, be silly, or change my personality, or where you don't approach people that way. I'm like, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to always be who I am. Because at the end of the day, when you get chosen, it's because they like something about you.
Right.
And I can't work with somebody trying to be fake and be like, oh, well, that's not me.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Last thing, what are some of the things that you would want to give advice to other women out there about what to watch out for in modeling in this business that they don't teach you, but you go through it and you realize, like, oh my God, what just happened to me?
Yeah, I
Trying to, all that type of stuff.
Do your research. I feel like a lot of people have, everyone wants to be a model nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And everyone,
Everyone
if
can't.
you do one photo shoot or you take a picture at home, oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard this on Instagram or what. Instagram is your agent nowadays. But if, it doesn't matter because, I tell a lot of women, like, do your research and check your surroundings because you always want to have positive people around you and you want to influence other people, you know what I'm saying, to walk the right path. You're going to always bump into sharks, I always say. I bumped into them a lot.
Right.
I got offered many things, and I would say that I'm very fortunate, very blessed that I was brought up, but both of my parents are still together to this day. So I'm very blessed. But there's a lot of girls out there, that don't have that. So, just surround yourself with the positive people and don't give up. If that's what you want to do and that's what makes you happy, then, go that way. Don't listen to anybody.
Right.
People might tell you, cut your hair, do this or do that, then do what makes you happy. If you want to get a whole tiger tattoo in your back, then go ahead and get it, That's
Right.
you, boo-boo, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You get all the details of the tiger hurt.
So where can people find out more about what you're doing? Find out where you're going to be next. Where you're hosting.
Yeah.
If they want to
And your
actually
birthday.
hire you,
Yeah, well, I have my website, www.sallyferreira.com.
Spell that out, please.
SALLYFERR, here goes the R's, EIRA.com. And when you go to my website, there's a blog as well. So I'm usually on my blog, and I'm usually on Instagram, and I do respond back. I try to take time to respond to everybody.
Thermal sound wave.